lead. They were able to close out last Sunday's game against Vegas, where they played their most complete game of the season.
What's good, Joe? It's your boy Flash Speaks back, man. We're gonna let some people come in who want to come in here and chill, have a little fun, man. I didn't get a chance to watch this game, man. The Aces and the Storm. I try to watch it. I try to catch every game. But look, I'm not a full time blogger, so I got to work, so I can't catch every game when they're going on at this point right now in my career as a blogger. So I got to catch them on replay. Got the WNBA pass. That's my contribution to the league right there. So we're going to sit there and watch this game. But listen, man, the main thing that I'm getting out of this right here is that there is a player on the Aces besides Asia Wilson that I absolutely am gushing over. Like I'm like in love with this player. Okay, their game, of course. We don't go beyond that. And that's number 0, Agent Zero, Jackie. Oh my God! Listen to me, man. I would debate anybody down about who's the best non-big in the league. You're not going to tell me that it's anybody except Jackie O. Listen, Jackie's unbelievable. Jackie's unbelievable. See that Political Lil here? How you doing, Political Lil? What's up? See, let's hear you. Okay. And are you able to hear me? That's the first question. Just so I'm not misunderstanding what your message is here. Oh yeah. Jackie's a beast. Jackie's a beast. And this is why I'm telling everybody, Aces are going to win the title again this year. I get right now they not like, I'm not one of these people, right, that is only reacting to like, I only saw 5 games, so whoever's looking better at the 5 games is going to win it all. No. I didn't watch way too much basketball to do that in my years. Look at Jackie. Like, we starting off, nice pass to Asia. Okay, knocks it down. See, to me, the reason the Aces couldn't get past those teams last year, I get it, the depth, I get it, the center, but I really believe Chelsea Gray and Jackie wasn't right last year in the playoffs. That had more to do with everything. That was not Jackie Young in the playoffs last year. I think it was a combination. There was something wrong with her, which she either wore down over the season, something happened on the Olympic break or whatever. During the Olympic break, I don't think that was really Jackie, for real. This Jackie right here, who's like 100%, she's so disruptive. Right now, they just putting her on Scholar like, all right, that's the biggest threat. I got you. Fighting around screens. I send her to AJ. Ain't nothing she could do. Kick back out to Nneka. Now, Nneka's an animal. She going to do her thing. You know what I mean? Much you can do about that one. But Jackie, you're not going to tell me there's a better non-big in the league than Jackie Young. Period. If you really know what you're looking at when it comes to basketball. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Tulip? What's up? Noelle Quinn. I love me some Noelle Quinn. That's a fine woman right there. Y'all took Katie Lou Samuelson out. What y'all showing her for? Katie Lou Samuelson. She ain't going to be impact no how. Oh, J.O. is the best non-big in the league. Nobody going to tell me nothing different. Just her impact on this game. With the Aces, Asia clearly the best player. Jackie might be the most important player, if that makes sense. With everything they got her doing, when Chelsea Gray was out, who could play point guard? You would have thought last year they'd put Plum at point guard, but no, Jackie. Look at grabbing rebounds. Boy, there ain't too many players that I gush about, boy. I'll be watching Jackie like the whole time that look on my face. Like, what's she gonna do next? Like she like oh Hold up. She goes down, right? This whole sequence. She goes out there, dribble, boom, boom. Good defense by Gabby. She misses, right? But then on the other side, down the floor, they trying to push the ball, push the tempo. The Storm is trying to push tempo. Jackie Young just flies through the joint on some old Kawhi Leonard, steals the ball. She's just like, bruh, come on, man. Come on, man. That's why I think the Aces are gonna win. They got the best big, and then you got the best 2 and 3 combination. You got the best wings. It's just gonna take a minute for them to get it together. It's like when Wade, Bosh, and LeBron went to Miami. I mean, the first time they faced the Celtics wiped the floor with them. They couldn't beat Chicago. They couldn't beat none of them top teams at first. Matter of fact, the Sixers almost beat them. Corny Sixers that year, 2011. But then after a while, they figured it out and they got to the finals. That's all that's gonna happen with the Aces. Jackie Young just hit a three. Come on, Jackie. Come on, man. Stop it. Like when you talking about an athlete that play defense, offense, like even her offense is way more dynamic right now. There was something wrong with her last year. There was something wrong with her. She wasn't right. So any forward, or Woody Mack says, are any forward considered bigs to you? What you mean, Woody? What you mean? You mean like threes or fours? Because when I say bigs, I'm talking about fours and fives and players that fit that. I ain't talking about like, you know what I'm saying? If you got a 6'5" person playing the two, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like Bonner, she's different, stuff like that. I mean, traditional people who play 5 and 4 is what I consider bigs. You know, non-bigs, I mean threes, twos, ones. Oh, Feebich, yeah, I like Feebich. I do like Feebich. I ain't putting over Young though, but I do like Feebich. You take Feebich over Jackie Young, Woody Mack? You take Feebich over Jackie Young? I ain't doing that. Oh, I got commercial break. I got commercial breaks for in the daggone replay. Man, if they don't get to the damn game. I got to get a little caught up on New York, though. I don't really be watching New York, man. I'm kind of a New York hater. You know what I'm saying? Because you know where I'm from. I ain't even going to lie to you. And I don't like the fact them damn Knicks took all our boys from Nova. I don't like none of that. That it really ticks me off. AB, hey, what's going on, AB? What's up with you? Don't make me choose J.O. over my people. Ha 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 ha. I feel you. I understand that. I understand that. Damn. Izzy, oh, no, that's Necka. I thought that was Izzy made a nice turnaround. No, that was definitely Necka. But Jackie, yo, boy, she the key. And of course, Gray. Gray over there turning the damn ball over uncharacteristically. But Seattle will make you do that. Good play. Good play. Necka the scholar. Score right there. Oh, man, I've been waiting to see this game for the longest. Oh, my goodness. Dang, you got freaking Asia turned the damn ball over there. Yeah, I like Gabby, man. Gabby, like, really, really turned Seattle around. Like, she made it where it's like they ain't even barely lose a step, you know, with Joe Lloyd leaving, man. Yeah, I like Gabby. She long, she can score. It's a damn shame Chicago reputation so jammed up. And Chicago couldn't get her back. Chicago would have got, oh, my goodness. Necker just swatted the hell out of Asia. Really? Necker playing crazy. They couldn't convert. Jackie, yo, to Chelsea. Chelsea, nice bounce pass to Asia. Easy layup. Boop bop. Said Phoebus is okay. Now, I like Phoebus, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, but nah, Jackie though. Yeah, Satu. Yeah, I agree. Satu balling, man. Satu balling. I was doubting Satu earlier because, like, I don't know, Satu, it's just something about Satu that just had me spelling soft. You know what I mean? And I don't like no soft players. That just ain't my cup of tea. But Satu, I think it's also that it's the Alyssa Thomas effect, man. Alyssa Thomas is like really the great riser. You talk about a player that makes others better. I think nobody does that better than Alyssa Thomas. She takes some mediocre teams, squad players around her, and they rise their play. But yeah, Satu definitely. Because I think what Mercury would they 5, and I think 5-3 now because they lost last night, right? Good record. Damn. Damn, Aces keep turning the damn ball over. Damn, Jackie just stole it back. Come on, man. Stop it. Come on, Jackie. Cut it out. That's what I'm telling y'all about that. Boy, Jackie. Yo, boy. Listen, man. The best non-big in the game, bro. She's just stealing, blocking, scoring, everything. Said, wait till Kai's fit in 18. Yeah. Yeah, Kai, that's my girl, man. Kai, as I tell everybody, Kai was born right over there. Like, you literally go outside, jump on the train, jump on the bus real quick. No, jump on the bus first, right? Take you to Broad Nolly. You jump on the train at Broad Nolly. You go by like 4-5 stops to get to North Philly Station. Boop, boop. Catch one bus or you walk 10 blocks. That's where Khalid came from. Right over there. High school she went to like a John Gerard College, which is kind of like she played there. That's like a, you know what I mean, junior college before she went to Rutgers. Yeah, there's a legend over there though, man. They need to put a mural up for Khalid, man. I was trying to tell my local councilwoman, like, yo, you know, we got a champion. It's right over from North Philly. In the W, it's just the W don't get no damn play. She need at least a mural. You know what I mean? They're probably not gonna do a statue, but Kai need a mural, man. Especially right down North Philly around 27th. You know, like Dawn got everything down there. Dawn Staley got a whole street. Dawn Staley way down there, and that's what's up. But yeah, I gotta give something for Khalid Copper, man. Now Dawn can get it done if she mentions it, but I already put the word in to the councilwoman. Asia at the top. Asia working the rookie, but the turnaround, Asia missed. Oh man, that was a nice turnaround though, man. But yeah, Khalid Copper, man. Phoenix got a chance. See, Alyssa Thomas effect. Alyssa Thomas from around here too. She's from PA, not from Philly though. She's from a place called Camp Hill. She's from Camp Hill. Camp Hill is just known for two things: penitentiaries. So black men don't want to be nowhere near Camp Hill. It's known for penitentiaries and big sick factories. That's all Camp Hill known for. So I'm not surprised Alyssa Thomas is the type of player she is. The place she from is that hardcore. I got a cousin out Camp Hill, unfortunately. Jackie, ew. Pump fake. Skylar Fowler, 14-11, Las Vegas. So what y'all think? Who y'all think, besides you, Woody? I already know you picking them damn Liberty. Who y'all think gonna I ain't gonna say win it all. Who y'all think gonna represent each side? Who gonna be the final two standing? I got the Aces versus New York. That's what I got. Dana Evans, though, I don't know, man. They got Dana Evans out there. She like, now I like this young kid. They got number 13, Nye. Nye's a baller. She a rookie, so she do little rookie stuff. But the good thing is, when you're on the Aces, you don't really have to do much. They don't. Your job is very simple. Okay, just don't fuck it up. Just catch the ball, make your little shots. Okay, set your little screens. There ain't too much you got to do. I'm happy for Erica Wheeler though. Erica Wheeler out there balling for Seattle, man. Them damn FIFA fans had everybody thinking Erica Wheeler was trash. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand. Like everybody can't play with the Golden Girl. Just because you can't play with her, that don't mean they're trash. So AB got the Aces. All right, we're in agreement. And Political Love says Liberty versus Minnesota. Okay. So just a repeat of last year. All right. I ain't gonna lie, it's looking that way right now early on. Um, Liberty's still undefeated, right? So New York, has New York lost? New York is undefeated, right? Am I tripping? Let me get my stats out, man. Y'all be like, this dude don't know nothing. But I think they're both undefeated, right? Let me look up the standings. See, I don't really start caring about standings really until the middle of the season anyway. But let me go pull them up, man, so I don't be an ignorant blogger. Yeah, Liberty and the Lynx. Damn, 7-0, 8-0. Sheesh. They not playing, bro. Yeah, it's hard to pick against any of them. But I still got the Aces though. I still think, man, they got the best four. I mean, it's just those other teams are so deep. I get it. Yeah, they looking crazy right now. Liberty versus Dream looking strong. What you mean, Woody? You talking about at the end of the season? What you talking about? Did they just play each other? What you mean? Liberty versus Dream looking strong. I don't see the Dream doing that at all. Dream 5-2, but I just think they're gonna have a good start, and then they're gonna kind of like fade off a little bit. What? Dream and Liberty in the finals? Oh, that's an easy W for Liberty if that happens. Says Kitley comes along in the Aces, good for a title run. Kitley, okay. Did Kitley the key? I can kind of see that. You know, I think the Aces, regardless, are gonna do it. But I can understand that. Political low. Skyler, one of my favorite point guards in the league, but for sure. For sure. Skyler got that. You know what I mean? That grit. I like that. That's the player I wanted Chicago to get. I think she'd have been a perfect point guard for Chicago. She'd be the perfect type of player to go up against the Fever. Damn, another steal by Jackie. Jackie just all over. Jackie all over. Nah, with a nice three. Damn, nah, I've been missing like a mug. Nah, you got one job, nah. You gotta knock them things down. You got one job. You want to be out there, I think you need to come through. I noticed like they don't. To me, they don't look right with Dana Evans out there, man. They ain't even attacking her, but like Dana, come on, man. She took Skylar out. Who that? Jackie? No, that's Dana. My bad. I should never be mixing Jackie and Dana up. But then sometimes you can mix them up real quick. You got double T on the floor. Okay, nah, that's a good take. Finally, she took it to the rim. That's good. And then they got Tiffany Mitchell. See if Tiffany Mitchell come through too. Like they gonna have like they gonna be serious at the wing spots. At the wing spots, man. But real rap though, what I've been talking about last couple of days, y'all really think I'm tripping about I would offer Camilla Cardoso for Rakia Jackson? I'm really tripping on that, or what's the deal? Because I've been called all types of fools, idiots, old mans, old uncles. I've been called all types of stuff about that, but I don't know. I'm very high on Rakia Jackson. There's a lot of people I don't know. You know, people love them some Miller. Woody Mack says it's in the cards. The league seems to like the idea of the Liberty being the Lakers of women's basketball. Yeah. League can like whatever they want. They got to go out there and get that done. Y'all do got everybody complaining about the whistles though. That stuff be had me dying. Wade Fever is complaining about the whistles. But this is the problem with the Fever though. The Fever got to understand though, when you're a new and upcoming team on the rise, you got to pay your dues. They don't want the WNBA, the officials and all of them, to make them pay their dues. They feel like we bringing in all these crowds, we bringing in all these people, we're bringing in all this money, so we should have to pay our dues. We should get the same respect that Liberty get, the Aces get, and Minnesota get, and all that kind of stuff. And they spending too much of their time bitching. I was looking at the Fever game last night. I mean, they bitch about every single thing, whether it's offensive foul call, defensive foul call, and all that. So right there, to me, Stephanie White doing a bad job. You shouldn't have your players out there even thinking about that. You got to get that bullshit out of your head. If your players are out there thinking about that, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna give you an example. The Eagles versus the Chiefs, right? That was the whole thing about the Chiefs get all the whistles, get all the calls, and all that. And one thing I give Nick Sirianni credit for, Nick Sirianni never played that joint up ever. He was just always, oh no, there's nothing like that. These officials, they're doing their best, blah blah blah. He just always just played it off like that. But in the background, the owner of one might be writing the league and all that kind of stuff. Watch out for this, watch out for that. But our players, he made sure it's none of that bitch. No, just get back, get into the huddle, and continue the plays. And I think that's really the message a coach should be conveying to their team. You know what I mean? Don't sit there and do all that arguing with the officials. I'll handle the officials. Like I ain't got a problem with Stephanie White, like publicly, during the interviews, during the post games, talking about the officials and all that. That's traditionally what the coach should do. But she got to get them players to get that shit out their head. You know what I mean? That can create an inferiority complex. Like you should be focusing only on making them buckets and executing these plays that you got. That's all you should be focusing on. You shouldn't be focusing on the officials, none of that. You know what I mean? You prove yourself, you start winning, start getting to some finals, start winning some titles, you'll get that whistle. That's just the way it works. They want to just get it without paying their dues. Nobody respect that, man. So the Ace is up 10. Woody Mack says 8 at 8. Oh, talking to AB. That's the thing about them, man. They kind of annoying to watch. I didn't even do an official breakdown of their game because they so damn annoying. Because like all I'm gonna do is go in on them. That team really annoys me, for real. They play with a sense of entitlement, and I don't like that shit. This is sports, man. You gotta go out there and get it out the mud. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps in sports. Nobody want to hear all that, man. About how many foul calls y'all getting and not getting and all that. I don't want to hear that. Okay, I feel you, political Lil. So Kitley is a scoring 5. They need that to be a threat. I feel you. They really need, to me, though, that 5 got to play defense because, like, I really see the Aces beating every team. It's just New York, man. I don't know. I'm not that confident they beat New York, and the main reason is New York got the best 4 or 5 combination. Like, Stewie, who's, like, damn near as good as Asia, and then you got Jonquil Jones, who's a billion times better than the 5 that the Aces have. That's the problem. They need to figure something out about that mismatch, man. Jonquil is a problem. Ace OG team says Jeff P. and Marsh were salivating over Sinai Rivers, envisioning the next Jackie Young. So what happened? Was Sinai went before we did we have a chance to get her or not? What's the deal with that, Sinai Rivers? He didn't get her. You know what I mean? But shit, somebody be the next Jackie Young, please. By all means. Shit, you got a Jackie Young on your team. Man, you already there competing. Best non-big in the league. And the reason the Aces ain't win again last year was something wrong with Jackie Young. I don't care what nobody say. That was not Jackie. They got to get Jewel Lloyd up to speed, but I'm not worried about it. I think it'll happen. She's a great player. It'll get there. Tiffany Mitchell, wide open. You got to make that. You got to make that. You got to make that. You can miss it against Seattle. You play New York. You got to make that. Erica Wheeler. Taneka. But that's amazing how Erica Wheeler all of a sudden can play. Where last year she was garbage. Okay, Dana. Dana dropped a little 3. Okay. Dana like, I'm trying to stay on this team. I can dig it. She's like, I'm trying to stay on this team. They giving her minutes, so she must be doing something to impress them. But I know Dana got a little experience. That's probably part of what it is, too. The big Chinese girl, I forget her name, for Seattle. And then Chelsea, ew, nice drive, nice take. She got banged up, though, on that joint. The Liberty won the title. I give y'all that not drawing power. Yeah. Facts. I mean, that's going to happen. If Fever get that, go win something. You get all the calls, you get all that. But I like the W doing that, man. Don't be showing no team, no favoritism just because a bunch of hillbillies want to watch you. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? No, you got to earn that, man. This basketball is earned through play. Come on, man. These daggone commercial breaks. Why do they have commercial breaks on the replay? Like, just play the game. But it looks like so far Vegas is in control. Vegas came out on a mission. Like, listen, we ain't losing to this team twice. These commercial breaks, man. Come on, man. This commercial break long as I don't know what. Benny DeMarble says facts. What about the commercial breaks? Or by some other point? Or you might be talking to somebody in the chat. We got like 6 people, man. Sheesh. I'm at to advertise my lives a little better. Who is somebody else going live right now too? We got Quita, somebody live. I don't be going head up with no damn Quita. I don't be doing that kind of stuff. Somebody else must be live. I feel like 7 people in the joint. Okay, Jackie. As y'all see, I love Jackie Young, man. Jackie Young fan right here. Asia. Out to Chelsea. Out to Dana. Now, y'all can't just keep going to Dana. Dana is not, she's not the one. Skyler, nice tee. But they called offensive foul. Damn. Seattle couldn't get a break this day. Benny, yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all, man. Just being myself on here. Trust me, it's all it is. I ain't really worried about. I mean, I do want growth, but not for why people might think. I just want impact as a means to just spread the truth. Not really, I ain't looking for this to just be my means of income or something like that. There's other ways actually on YouTube to do it. I don't think that sports would be the way for me. It would be something else. So I'm too honest with sports. The key with sports to like really succeed is you gotta jump on narratives. And then when you jump on narratives, it's like it's hard to stay with integrity. Like you got channels like Dreamers Pro, for example. And this ain't no criticism. This ain't no criticism of them. Like I respect everybody what they do, but like he's able to build over 200,000 subs, but it's through a constant criticism of LeBron James. I don't have that in me to do that. That's the thing. I don't have it in me to do that. Like just constant. Because it's like it's no human being that you hate everything about him. You see what I'm saying? That's just crazy. You hate like everything you do is just nothing is good. It's just constantly good. So you'll find, a group of people that agree with that. Some people like that kind of negativity, so they latch on. They consistently doing it, you know. And there's other channels like that too. And I'm a guy there's a lot of things that like LeBron and Clutch do that I don't really like. I don't like trying to create a legacy for yourself anyway. I don't like the whole idea of that anyway. I think legacy is supposed to be created by others. It's others' opinions for you. What you do though, if you're an athlete, what you should create is your look should be, or your goal should be to establish your contribution to the game. That's the way the athlete should be looking at it. You shouldn't be manufacturing a legacy. And I think this is just a mistake on the part of like him and his people. You know, that's so I think it'll be a learning experience for them more than anything. I don't think he should have ever publicly just said, I'm the greatest player of all time. He should have never he should never even said I'm the greatest in the league right now. He should never say none of that kind of stuff. You don't have to, just go out there and show it. Other people will say it, and then that way you don't create a lot of those problems for yourself. But he opened himself up to a lot of that, by doing that stuff. You know. But obviously, there's people who believe that my content with Caitlin Clark, that there's some degree of like insincerity there. Like they really believe that I do it for views. Bro, listen, there are no views in Caitlin Clark hate. There is no views in that. The views are in Caitlin Clark like love, positivity. All you gotta do is go to those channels, look at the number of subs they have versus people who like mine. You know, like if I wanted to build it up to where it's thousands and thousands, I know exactly what to do. Come on here every day, talk about how great Caitlin Clark is. Your channel would explode. Like last year, like myself and the guy Ben Daniels, we had the same number of subs last year. You know, he sounds why Glaze Caitlin Clark. Whether you mean it or not, that fan base, that's the move. You jump on the wave for money. I don't do it for money. I do it for the integrity of the sport. Then the other unpopular thing, defending black women, that's very unpopular. That's unpopular amongst white viewers and black viewers. Very unpopular. Because right now we live in that particular age where we live in the age of fake um, what's that? Self-esteem. That's the area we live in. Okay, where and I knew this would happen because if you go back through the early 2000s and everything, to 2010s and so on, there was always this big emphasis, and this is the way psychology went. It went the route of everything is just self-esteem. You got to have the self-esteem. Make the most important thing is that you have self-esteem. Now, the intention was good, right? But it had certain bad effects. And what do I mean by that? It's difficult to be, because this is what happened. First, there was the let's create the idol of self-esteem. Self-esteem led to the creation of the ultra narcissists now. And this is the age we're in now. We're in the age of narcissism, right? And what I mean by that is when a person is to the point where the only thing that matters is my self-perception of myself, right? It's not like self-love, which is a good thing. No, it's self-esteem. No, me, I'm great. Without a person having gone through any type of real character development. It's like you got to think traditionally in the past, right? People didn't praise themselves without going through some sort of a character development. If you lived in what was called traditionally the Christian world, okay, you might become a priest, you might join the monastery, you might do something like that. Then once you become, and then through that whole system, you learn humility, you learn the importance of humility, you learn the importance of service, you learn the importance of preferring others over yourself. You learn all of these different things. If you were in, say, the Islamic world, for example, you practice something called tasawwuf. You will go up into the mountains or whatever. You're trying to find God. You spend time contemplating over the God's names. And by that means, you purify your character. Go back into the town. You serve the people. You do these different types of things. If you were in the East, you might practice Buddhism or Confucianism. And what's the other one? Taoism. Okay. And through these different systems, you learn to become a better human being. But the purpose of it was humility was always the way. All right. Now I'm talking real long, but but now I'm just trying to say we live in an age where humility is bad. Like now, you're supposed to think you the shit at all times, right? So now this is seeped over into the relationship dynamic. Just listen to the music, for example. This real popular song out now by what's the girl's name? I can't remember the kid's name, but the song is like, the only thing that's saving you is the heart of a woman, right? And my daughter loves this song or whatever, right? But this is different from if it was a song say in the 50s, if it was a song made maybe even the 80s and 90s, it would be different. The lyrics would be more like the only thing that's saving us. It would be something like that. What am I getting at here? Back then in the 90s, if you listen to the music, the writers were always vulnerable. Singers were very vulnerable, Whereas now, that type of vulnerability, they give it this word simping. You're simping just because you're not afraid to express how you feel. I express that I love your wife or your significant other or whatever, right? That's simping. Whereas in the past, that type of vulnerability was seen as good. Okay. So we live in the age of narcissism. And you can see that in the president. They voted for a guy that's into that. There's no humility on the part of the president. Narcissism. People's favorite athletes are guys like LeBron James. Who I'm not gonna say he's a complete bad person. He's not. But he's reflective of the time. You come out and say, I'm the greatest ever. Whereas in the past, players never did that. Michael Jordan never did that. Will Chamberlain never did that. Magic never did that. And that's just kind of that's really the point I'm getting at. AB says, bottom line, I rock with you because you tell the truth. Well, I appreciate that, AB. So facts, that's why I support you, brothers. Showtime, Prince, and you. There are a few others I may have missed. Yeah, I recommend all those brothers, man. And everybody has a different thing that they add. Prince adds like that insight from the standpoint of experiential. He played out there, played basketball at a high level, so he can give that point of view. Film breakdowns, all of that content is great. Showtime just has a general good show. The thing I like about Showtime is, and that's one of the, he's a special character, brother, to me. Like, he's very humble, and he allows his place to be a place where you can just go chill, watch the game, and have a little and converse. That's what I like about what he provides, you know. And of course he knows the game himself too. So he's a good conversationalist in that regard as well. But the thing I like about Showtime is he doesn't feel like he's bigger than somebody just because of the number of like subs he has. Like a lot of these guys, man, they get up 50,000 subs, 80,000 subs. They just think others are peons. Won't even talk to them. You know. So Jared says, Fulan, I agree. I said the same thing on YouTube, and the guy said I gotta stop hating on Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah. Yeah, everything is hating, right? You can't even like critique her game. Do we, no, of course not. There's very few people are Caitlin Clark haters. Like they believe that these all these people that just hate on her. They don't take much to be considered that, right? I don't know a lot of people that are really Caitlin Clark haters. I don't know anyone that just says she can't play at all and she sucks or anything like that. You know, so I don't know. Whereas with Angel Reese, they just flat out say she can't play basketball at all, stuff like that. So it's not even nowhere near close. Oh yeah, the music today is horrendous, bro. It's horrible. Benny Daniels says, I can't stand the mainstream media feeding lies and false narratives. Caitlin Clark is nowhere near being the best player in WNBA. She doesn't play both sides of the ball. The MVP should. Yeah, agreed. To always love his lives. Appreciate that. So the Aces are not winning championship this year. I beg to differ, as my man Bro Claw says. I beg to differ. No, listen. I picked the Aces. I think whatever deficiencies they have, they're going to work through. Because I believe they have the best player in the league. I also believe they're the best non-big in the league. I believe they will end up having the best 2-3 combo, and I believe they have the best point guard. People can question their five position. Okay. Um, People can question their and they showing all these ladies when they were drafted. Boy, Jackie Young had this crazy dress on. Ooh. But yeah, they had and you could talk about the Aces bench. But I mean they got some decent pieces off the bench though. They do. I like Mitchell. I like Nye. He's coming along, rookie. I like uh, I don't know about Dayton Evans though. But they're not playing bad. I just think I think the reason the Aces didn't win last year had more to do with Jackie Young wasn't right. If you had this Jackie Young right here, I think they win last year. So Angel Reese's new shoes out. Please go support her. Oh yeah, yeah. Which shoe they just came out today? Or when did they just come out, Aisha? Let me know, because I'll go grab a photo of them, put them up here. You know. Yeah, they're not beating them right now. I'm talking about when playoff time comes. I think they will. I don't think what you're seeing now is what you'll see then. It's a long season, and this thing is a marathon, not a sprint, my sir, my brother. Marathon, not a sprint. Israel, yeah, Israel is something else, ain't he? He would say that. Oh, there you go. Of course. Why? Because they have INSQ. Barbershop Talk. Peace. Peace back, my brother. You should donate so I can do a channel giveaway. That's not a bad idea. Explain how the channel giveaway goes. What do I collect all the money and then give it to one of y'all? How does that go? How does that go? But yeah, we accept donations around here for sure. We don't demand it, of course, but we accept it. Who doesn't accept donations, right? Who doesn't? And man, all these commercials. But yeah, man. I'm surprised. I thought I would get more pushback on the Jackie Young thing. But the other thing I want to talk about, man, why am I so crazy for wanting to trade Camilla for Rakia? What's so crazy about it? Oh, okay. I meant so you can. Okay, yeah. I'm with that. That's a good idea. It's actually a great idea, Benny. You donate, grab a pair of shoes, give away. The only thing with shoes though, um, is the size issue. So of course I would have to buy them after. So we had to decide who gets the pair. Then I gotta buy them, then send them. Right. So that's all. But that's not hard to do. Yeah, but they're not logical in their assessment of Angel Reese at all. They're not. They won't even give her credit for what she does well. Like they won't even give her rebounding. They'll say she rebounds her own misses as if this makes you a bad rebounder. You know. So it's like arguing with them is pointless. Like you're arguing with people who just don't use logic as a basis for how they argue. So it's like, what are we doing right now? Like even if you are like if you're able to catch your own rebounds, and let's say you're doing it on purpose, then you are a damn good rebounder. You are a damn good rebounder. The only player I know who used to do that was Moses Malone. Moses Malone used to, if he would have the ball in the post, and he'd be in a position that he doesn't like, where it's difficult for him to score from. So what he'll do is he'll throw the ball up and know that he can reposition himself to catch it to be in a better position to shoot. And this was known about Moses Malone, but people at the time called Moses Malone the chairman of the boards, which means, you know what I mean, after Dennis Rodman and of course guys like Wilt and Russell and all them, Moses Malone probably the greatest rebounder of all time. And I would argue he's just as good as a rebounder as Dennis Rodman, actually. He was the chairman of the boards. But they claim Angel Reese does it, misses and catches her own, as if this is some argument against her rebounding. Actually, you're saying she's a better rebounder than we saying she is, if she's doing that shit on purpose. You see what I mean? So they're not a very logical people when they argue. The shoes of $175 to Angel Reese's. Woo, Angel. Have some mercy on your community. $175. But I ain't gonna lie, I got some sneaks that's around around that price. Let me look these joints up. Of course not, Jared. Of course not. Let me look these up though, man. So what's the name of the sneaks? Angel Reese what? See, all I'm seeing is the ages. Okay, the Reebok. You talking about the not the Shaq joints, please. Them joints, I don't know about them. Talking about the Reebok times Angel Shaq noise. Hold on. I know y'all ain't talking about these. They're talking about these right there. Them joints. Them dippers. Is that what y'all talking about? I don't know about those. But I mean, that's what y'all want. That's what y'all like. Cool. I don't know about those, Angel. But I see a couple different ones though, so I don't know. But I don't know about them Shaq noses. So you go to the Reebok website. Okay. Engines. Okay. Go to the Reebok website. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. So Angel right there from the rip. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The engines is tight. I like that. Okay. Yeah, they hard. I like dude. Yeah, she had them on last night, man. Oh, the other game they played. Okay. Yeah, that was hard. Yeah. Or you can give away a Reese T-shirt or a basketball ball. Good idea. We contemplate over those things. But if any of that happen, that's going to be probably a little later, maybe around All Star break, something like that. You know what I mean? Playoff time. But that's a good idea, though, Benny. I like that. Yeah, the mentions hard. I like those. Yeah, the two tone colors. Yeah, they hard. Bro, y'all don't understand how great Jackie is, man. I get Jackie some sneakers. Jackie needs some sneakers, man. Well, Seattle making a little run. Okay, in the third round with 6 minutes left. But Scotty got Skyler on Jewel. Look, come on, Jewel. Jewel, Lloyd, pretty good defensive player too, though. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm trying to tell you, when it gets when it going get when it gets real in the playoffs, I got the Aces beating them teams, man. You gotta have an Asia though that whose battery pack is right. Last year, I think she was too tired. Jackie wasn't right. Okay, Seattle. I love Seattle versus Aces games. I love Fever versus Aces too. I can't wait to play the Aces. Them games be funny, man. But it ain't gonna be as funny without Plum though, because Plum likes to just light CC up and then talk shit to her. That's what I'm gonna miss that part. Like, Plum used to like just guarding her real tight just to annoy her and all that kind of stuff. Talk real crazy to her. So I'm gonna miss that part. Cause I don't think the Aces got no trash talkers right now. Chelsea, they ain't really talking. Jackie Young is just perfect character, ain't talking. Jewel is just Jewel too chill. Jewel look like she smoked weed to me. She's just too chill. And yeah, they ain't got nothing, they ain't got no firecrackers, man. That's why I miss Plum, man. See, Seattle's your dark horse team. Yeah, I can see that. I love their defense. Skyler play bad, yeah. Skyler sometimes can get erratic. She can get a little erratic, man. She plays off emotion. You think Asia will talk trash to CC? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Unless CC say something first. Other than that, I don't think so. But like, who talks trash to Asia though? Like, really? I don't think nobody does that. Ew. Man, Asia had a nice little drive. Missed it? What are you doing, Asia? You don't do that. You don't do that. Gabby Williams. Damn, she way off. Ego Jackie. Fulan. Hey, here go Jared with his nonsense. The good looking HBO is is in the doghouse. I don't think she's the doghouse. I don't think she's the doghouse. I think Tyler Marsh is just working her in slowly because he probably has some promises he made to, Bantam and Sloot, in particular Sloot. In order to get her, they probably promised her a certain number of minutes and, all this BS that Chicago, all these concessions Chicago had to make because it's hard for them to get players. I think it's more so that sort of thing. And on top of that, Marsh is a little dumb, you know, a little stupid. So I think it's a combination of all that. But I don't think HBL is playing bad in a way where like or doing something that he doesn't like. So I don't think it's like a doghouse. You know, I think it's more incompetence than anything. Maddox. Vacio 999. Jared Thomas, who's the biggest threat to the Liberty? Okay. He talking to you, Jared. Spotty Adi Dopalicious. Interesting name. I think Asia is too well respected in the league for other players to talk trash to her. Agreed. Philan's annoying to me fanboy that's hilarious. Hey man, you know, that's your girl. I get it. You know what I mean? I'm fanboying over Jackie. I ain't gonna lie, Jackie got me like it's like, oh when I see her play. But it's more her game, you know. You know, that body is kind of crazy, but it's more her game, you know. I think the Atlanta Dream is the championship contender. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I don't agree. But I will say this about Atlanta. I believe Ryan Howard, Ryan Howard, I believe, has the potential to be anywhere between the second to fifth best player in the league. I believe that about Ryan Howard's ability. But she is not that due to some intangibles that annoy the hell out of me. I don't know if she doesn't want to be that. I don't know if she don't want to work to be it. I don't know if she just doesn't know how to be it. I don't know what it is. I don't get why Ryan Howard, with all the talent that she has and the skills that she has, why she's not a better player. I don't get it. Now, Ryan Howard actually becomes that player that I believe she could be, then I would agree the Atlanta Dream could be a championship contender. But if Alicia Gray is the best player and Brittany Griner is the best player, I don't think they're championship contenders. Brittany Griner, her time is up. She still looks good though. She's still putting them through spin cycles and she out there doing her thing. I like Dantas. Not Dantas. Who's the other big one? Brittany, damn, you know the other big that they got. I like them. But if Alicia Gray is gonna be better than Ryan Howard, no. Ryan Howard gotta take the reins. Alicia Gray gotta be the sidekick. They also gonna need Jordan Canada to be like really, really good too. I like Pop. She's a rookie. I don't think Dream is a real contender. I just think they all to a good start. No, I ain't see the mock draft. So explain to me what you talking about. What would be a dream come true? AB might move up in the MVP conversation, in my opinion. She should be in the conversation already. AB has been, with the exception of a couple games, she's been like the best big five in the league, probably. Probably been the best five. You know, besides Jockwell, you know. I don't think that the Las Vegas Aces are championship contender. Contenders don't have the MVP lead them in every statistical category. I mean, Asia is a monster. I don't know. Like, I don't know. She's a monster. Like you got to think about it. She's such a scorer, a great scorer. She's going to automatically lead them in scoring. She's the best rebounder on the team, and she plays in the post a lot, so she's going to lead them in rebounding. Um, Blocks. The problem is they do need a shot blocker. She's going to lead them in blocks. Um, does she lead in steals? She doesn't lead in steals, does she? And if so, I don't think that'll consistently happen. You know, I just think Asia is just what you gonna do about it. She's just a generational great talent. She is the generational talent of the WNBA. You know, like what should she do? She can't help but do that. I agree with BG, but BG old. I think it's going to be like that as they age. Yep, age is aging, bro. See, Aaliyah Boston's having one of the more underrated seasons in the W I've seen in a while. She's tearing it up. Yeah, yeah. You ain't gonna get no credit on Fever though. Fever's all about one player. You ain't gonna get no credit there. That's gonna be the downside to playing over there. Scott's like, yeah, Latson would be a good Latson would be a good player for this guy. But I do want to see how she looks there in South Carolina too before I go all the way there. But I do like her game. So Asia does lead in steals. Yeah, I don't think that'll play out all year. That's just we still only talking about what 6, 7 games he played so far. Yeah, that's what I was saying after John Quill. That's Boston. Extra Piece says you saw yesterday how the Fever should look. You had a point guard who didn't turn the ball over, and they actually played defense and didn't try to take risks with passing to build up assists. True. But that ain't gonna happen. She would not be the point guard. It's gonna be Caitlin Clark. Um, it just is what it is. So, but I definitely hear what you're saying. When people have a damn shit fit, they did anything other than that. They don't want Caitlin off the ball, none of that. And Caitlin runs everything, man. I question whether or not the coach has any power, honestly. So, I don't know. Who will win Saturday between the Chicago Sky and the Fever? I like the Indiana Sky, Chicago Sky, to win that. And I think the Sky are like riding kind of high. The Fever just kind of still figuring stuff out. Of course, it also depends if Caitlin plays. I don't think Caitlin's going to play right. So I like Chicago to win that. Yeah, I do. A CC fan said that Andrew Reese in Chicago is proof that Reese doesn't make players better. Well, I would have to ask him how is there proof? Where's the proof? And what does making players better mean? It means passing them what, getting them the ball in places where they can do a layup. Does that make a player better? Finding them when they're wide open, passing them the ball so they can shoot. Because like traditionally, this is a thing people say. This guy makes these players better. This guy makes other players better. So, as a basketball player who's been in layup lines since first grade, since you were just playing basketball in summer leagues, you know, layup line doing layups and layups. A player that makes you better is a person that what passes you the ball so you can lay it up, or passes you the ball so you can shoot. Does that person make you a better player, or do you both make each other better as far as stats go? Right, because what happens with Caitlin Clark and them, I'm talking about her fans here. Um, if she passes the ball to a player and the player misses, and it's a turnover where they don't blame Caitlin Clark, they say it's that player. Okay, so if the player makes the shot and that gives Caitlin the assist that she wouldn't have got if they missed the shot, does that not make Caitlin better? At least stat wise? I don't understand. I just don't get how that works. I never understood that. My understanding of making players better is, how can I put it like this? Let me give you an example here. You can pick either Lawrence Taylor or I'm gonna switch sports here a little bit. You can pick Lawrence Taylor or you can pick say Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, okay. Because they kind of both did a similar thing. Ray Lewis played through as a linebacker on the 2000 Ravens. He played next to Peter Boulware and Jamie Sharper. Okay, it's two linebackers here. Guys who in and of themselves were, I mean, they're good, they're okay. But you add Ray Lewis to the situation, and Ray Lewis is like, all right, I got this right here. You handle this, you handle that. And then they watch how he plays. They watch how he prepares. And then they start imitating what they see him do. That makes them better. It makes them better as a linebacking unit, and he inspires them to play better because they're imitating him, and they don't want to let him down. Right? They miss a tackle. You're concerned about, now you got to look over at Ray, who never misses tackles, and you feel bad. So you make sure you on your P's and Q's because of him holding you accountable. That kind of making you better, I understand. Similar to Michael Jordan, for example. Michael Jordan on the Bulls is taking the brunt of the offense, doing the brunt of the offensive work. Okay? If you got a guy like Kerr or these types of players, and Jordan basically making it really easy for you by taking in all the gravity, doing most of the work. You just got one freaking job, and you're shooting, and you're making sure you're locked in and making it because you're imitating him. You want to be like his efficiency, and also you don't want to let him down. That I understand making players better. But generally, the idea that players make other players better, I don't really agree with. I agree with players having impact on a team and making a team better, but making individual players better, I don't quite understand that. People say Aaliyah Boston like no good without CC, right? And then try to use Unrivaled as an example. And what are we talking about? Are you talking about her stats? Okay, when we look at her stats, as a rookie, she averaged more points than she did in the second year with Caitlin Clark. So what do you mean she made her better? She was already averaging those points. Actually averaged a little more. Scoring went down a little bit. So I'd never understand that. I don't. But, what is, maybe somebody can break it down to me. I don't know. They say this about LeBron James. He makes these guys better, even though, you got a guy like Kevin Love, who's averaging 28 and 14 with Minnesota. He comes and plays with LeBron James. Now he's averaging like 17. How did LeBron make him better? I don't know. Playing with LeBron makes your team better. I never understand that. Yeah, I am rambling. So what? You know what I mean? That's when you're trying to make a point. Like if you're able to follow analogies and points and stuff like that, I think you'll get it. But I'm sorry if it's like, done in a way where you can't follow. I wish I was more of like a kindergarten teacher where I could know how to break down the ABC and 1, 2, 3, but I'm not really good at that. My bad. Well, and the CC fan said that in the comparison to Reese, that Clark came in and immediately uplifted the garbage fever team on her back. She didn't. They struggled out the gate. lost their first 10 games. Didn't immediately do anything. So it's not true. And if you remember, going into the break, the Olympic break, Chicago was ahead of the Fever. Fever had lost their last game going into the break. Chicago was on a high after defeating the Aces. It was after the break that Kennedy Carter was hardly ever available. Marina Mabry was traded. Okay, and everything. Chicago was on a trajectory to make the playoffs. They were actually ahead of the Fever. Okay? But you got to understand what happened to Chicago coming out of the break is the equivalent of Kelsey Mitchell being taken away from the team and Aaliyah Boston just being sick every other day. That's what was happening. And then Angel Reese got hurt. Okay, so you had the top three scorers on Chicago last year were Reese, Mabry, and Carter. They were ahead of the Fever going into the break. After the break, Mabry's gone. Okay, that's your second leading scorer on the team. Then you got Kennedy Carter sick for I don't know how many damn games. And I've never seen nobody sick like that. And then Angel Reese was hurt. It's hard to compare. You can't really fairly compare that. And then this whole thing about the garbage fever team. The only way you can prove this, the only way this can be proven, is you have to have Caitlin Clark be on the Fever with Kelsey Mitchell gone or Leah Boston gone. That's the only way you can prove that, right? Because this is what they say. Oh, the Fever, when they had Leah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, they weren't going to the playoffs. This is what they say. Caitlin Clark came. Yeah, but Caitlin Clark came and joined Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston. The only fair way to measure that would be if there was Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and no Kelsey Mitchell. Or Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell and no Aaliyah Boston. In other words, they're a big three. If you take any one of those three away, the other two have to do it in order to prove that theory. They act like she just came and did something Kelsey Mitchell couldn't do or Leah Boston couldn't do. She didn't. It's nonsense. Yeah, exactly. But the point is, did LeBron make him better, or does playing with LeBron make your team better? I'm saying playing with LeBron makes your team better. LeBron didn't make Kevin Love a better basketball player. That's all. But yeah, you play with LeBron, yes, your team will be better. There's no doubt about it. Dave Portnoy, I don't know who that is. But there's a whole lot of people who go at her hard, so I can imagine. I hear you, but it's not going to happen. Caitlin Clark's going to be the point guard for the team. That's the way they're going to play. Should she learn to play off the ball? Yeah. But will they? Nope. Yep. This is true. And that'll be the way it is until they come to conclude that guys like myself are right. You know. The Sky were on the verge of making the playoffs in year one with Reese, which would have been phenomenal. Sky fell apart partially due to the Reese injury. That's not a Reese players get. Yeah, but even more than that, like I said, Marina Mabry was taken away from the team. That was significant. Marina Mabry was the floor spacer on the team. She was the consistent shooter that opened a lot of things up for a lot of players, even Kennedy Carter. There was a completely different team without Mabry. And then remember how many games Kennedy Carter was missing? How inconsistent she was? How oftentimes she just wasn't there, wasn't available? That was a big problem. Big problem. And then after all of that, Angel Reese got hurt. That's like, because that if Chicago had a big three, that's who it was. I mean, Camilla, but really, it wasn't Camilla. Wasn't even part of the big three. It would be Angel, it would be Mabry, and it would be Kennedy. If you're judging based on usage rate, those are the three top usage rates, on the team. Mabry was gone. Mabry was the leading scorer. Well, I mean, sorry, Kennedy was. Beginning of the year, Mabry was the leading scorer. Eventually, Kennedy became leading scorer. Angel was always the third leading scorer. Mabry, the second leading scorer, was taken off the team. Like, that's a significant thing. No matter how good we may think Mabry is or not, but she was important for Chicago. So Caitlin Clark with Sky wouldn't do as well. Philan Reese is trying her best with the Sky, but she can't do it alone. You mean Caitlin Clark with Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark without Angel Reese? Because Caitlin Clark on the Sky with Angel Reese, I think that'd be a hell of a team. I think so. But if you mean if Caitlin Clark went to the Sky with Camila Cardoso and Mabry and Kennedy Carter and all of that, I don't know. It's interesting. But I generally agree because Boston and Mitchell are better players than what Chicago had. There's no doubt about that. And Lexi Hall, who was really developing into a really good player. Yeah, two of them, and then they had two All-Stars already. And Erica Wheeler was an All-Star as well. And look at that. Damn sure ain't make Erica Wheeler better. Erica Wheeler right now is in Seattle balling, right? Like she's playing in ways that Fever fans probably didn't even think she could. But sometimes certain players don't play together well. Sixers fan question. Do you think the Sixers should draft Ace Bailey? I think he can learn on the point. Yeah, Ace Bailey is a player that should draft, without a doubt. If we had number one, I would take Ace Bailey. If we had a number one pick, that's the guy I would take. I like Harper though. I like Ron Harper's boy. But yeah, the guy I hope we get is Ace Bailey. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Fever had a nice young core for a while. I mean, they were picking young players for a while. Right. Yeah, I kind of figured that's what you meant. At the end, if they swap places, yeah. She would struggle. Yeah. Unless Kennedy Carter, unless everything's go different with Kennedy Carter or something like that. But generally, yeah. Oh man. Jackie Young, boy. Let me see let me just look at let me go to the tail of this game here. And end off with a little breakdown of the game. All right, so who we got here, man? Well, I'm surprised. Jackie Young just scored 19 points in that game, aging 12 points in that game, aging 19, 4 rebounds and 1 assist. Drew Lloyd 10 points. But here, this was just a nice game where they spread the ball around. Kia Stokes was the only starting five, without that wasn't in double figures. All right, so here they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 players in double figures is good. The assist count, 6. So you got 17 assists as a team. Did somebody say Adrian Wilson is leading the team in assists? Well, that ain't like long. Chelsea Gray will do that. That just must be the way that the game is starting off. In the Storm, Skylar 11, Gabby led the way with 20. Aguma K 9. That was the difference there. Skylar and Neka didn't show up in this game like they normally do. Alicia Clark, I don't expect much. She just kind of like catch and shoot player. Izzy, solid, 9 rebounds, 7 points. I mean, you want to have her score about 11, 10 or 11 points, but she wasn't bad. I think a big part of why they won this game, that was just some get back for that loss to the Storm earlier in the year. They were able to, and there's something about the Storm though. It seemed like they lose a lot at home. So I remember even Chicago was able to beat them last year at home. Dana Evans, Dana. If you want to stay in the league, you better make them damn shots, man. Come on, Tasha. Naturi Naughton. Wow. Damian Fowler says, hey, just want to say you and I haven't seen eye to eye much, but I respect you showing your takes. I know. Keep coming back. But no. Yeah, you good, man. You all right, Damian? You know, I know you're passionate about CC. I get it. You know, I have players like that I'm passionate about. I don't want to people talk shit about Jalen Hurts. I don't want to hear it, man. I'd be ready to just, boy, I understand. You know. I understand. But it can change. Caitlin Clark is a young player, and things can change, you know. And it really wouldn't even take much for some of that to happen. But you kind of hit on it the other day. You were right. Part of what makes it difficult is the fan base. The fan base being so, in my opinion, disrespectful to the other players. You know, like it's one thing to be a fan of a player. It's another thing to just have to talk down on everyone else just because you're a fan of that player. You know, that's kind of like what that kind of boils down to. When it comes to CC fans and media conflict popularity with being the best, that's problem when it comes to CC. I think she's really good, but I've seen way better generational talent. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Belinda Faster, if Angel had a triple double every night, the haters would say something negative. I just want Angel and the team to keep getting better. Yeah, me too. It's about winning, man. All them stats, I mean, stats are cool, but it's about winning. Ben Daniels said the dumbest thing I've ever heard about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. He said that is like comparing Tristan Thompson to Steph Curry. Tristan Thompson. See, that's what he said Angel is. That's funny. They just didn't have the machine and fanfare, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality of things. So, Philip, we got to stop it. Sabrina Nescu, Steph Curry, if anything, Caitlin Clark is Trey Young. My Steph Curry is Kelsey Plum, baby. Kelsey Plum. I would say Enrique if Enrique was winning more. But Plum is the closest thing to Steph to me. Seattle trying to make a little run, 60 to 69, but I know ultimately they're going to lose. Good physical game, though. What do you think they need to do with Camilla? Trade her for Ricky Jackson. Well, if not, then hey, just let her develop. Just keep doing what you're doing, let her develop. Camilla will get better. I don't dislike Camilla. I just love me some Ricky Jackson. That's all. No, she doesn't have the range. So she's like Steph because of range. That's literally what you're saying here. I don't care about ranges, but I think range is actually dumb. But you know, that's what the people like. They like you shoot the three way over there. It's still 3 points. Now they turn it into a 4 point shot, which I hope they don't do. That would piss me off. I might stop watching. But if it was a 4 point shot, at least I would understand why you're shooting it. If it's still 3, then move up close as possible and shoot it. You'll probably be more efficient. Like Caitlin Clark would probably be a 40-point. She'd probably be a 40% shooter if she didn't shoot logos. If she just did regular threes, I think she'd probably be over 40% because the girl can't shoot. But I got to be from back here. You're never going to be 40% if you're taking a lot of logos. It's never going to happen. Oh, man. So I thank everybody for coming through, man. What we do, an hour and a half? I appreciate it, man. I watched this game, and I'll be back, man. Get with y'all later. Peace.